Good evening. We'd like to call this meeting to order.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 7, 2022. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper posted on public bulletin boards in the Township website.
Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Here.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero. Councilman Halloran.
Here.
Vice President Crate.
Here.
President Minikino.
Here.
Thank you.
I'd like to take a moment to salute the flag in a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Yeah. This brings us to our consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 4-1.
Recognize Pride Month, June.
Councilwoman Crate.
This resolution recognizes June as Pride Month to celebrate the lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, and queer community and to recognize the immeasurable impact to the cultural, civic, and economic successes of our country that LGBTQ individuals continue to have in all aspects of life. Thank you.
Resolution 4-2.
Authorize receipt of bids, professional medical services.
Councilman Halloran.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for professional medical services to provide pre-employment physicals, fit-for-duty testing, and drug and/or alcohol testing for new and existing employees at the provider's facility and at designated township sites. The current one-year contract will expire on September 10th, 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-3.
Authorize rebid heating, ventilating, and air conditioning and repair services.
Thank you. Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the rebid of heating, ventilating, and air conditioning repair services. On June 17th, the Township received bids, and none were received. Bid notices were mailed to 60 prospective bidders from our bidders list, and 12 picked up bid packages.
Thank you. Resolution 4-4.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, Uplift New Police Patrol Vehicles.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Sorry.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes an award of contract to General Sales Administration in the amount of $93,200.76 and to Motorola Solutions in the amount of $23,616 for the upfit of 6 new police patrol vehicles. Both vendors are on the approved New Jersey contract vendors list, as is approved by the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-5.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, Panasonic Tough Books.
Councilwoman Crate.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $61,410 for the purchase and delivery of 15 Panasonic Tough Books ruggedized laptops for the police department vehicles. This purchase is being made through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Thank you. Resolution 4-6.
Authorize change order number 1, Oregon Avenue Drainage Improvements Pipe Reconstruction.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes a change order increase in the amount of $9,183.60 to R. Maslowski Excavating due to a change in the scope of work for the replacement drainage pipe on Oregon Ave. The existing water main is asbestos cement pipe and was found to be in bad shape. Therefore, our township engineer recommended lining the concrete drainage pipe with a cured in-place pipe lining to seal failing gaskets and lift holes in lieu of replacement. The pipe no longer planned to be used in this location has already been delivered and will be kept by the township's road crew for use in other projects.
Thank you. Resolution 4-7.
Authorize change order number 1, Nageco Lagoon Dredge and Windward Beach Nourishment Project.
Councilman Halloran.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes a change order increase in the amount of $57,367.04 to SpectraServe for the Nageco Lagoon Dredge and Windward Beach Nourishment Project due to an increase in the dredge volume of 445 cubic yards. a change in placement volume at Windward Beach, and increased trucking costs for up to 398 cubic yards. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-8.
Authorize execution of memorandum of understanding between Bright Harbor Healthcare and the Township of Brick.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the execution of a memorandum of understanding between Bright Harbor Healthcare and the Township for the Protective Outreach in Needs and Treatment, otherwise known as On Point program. In this program, Brick PD will have access to behavioral health and integrated care programming to ensure that our most vulnerable population has the ability to get the care they need and deserve. The program helps to educate citizens to understand that the role of the police officer includes referring at-risk people and their families for intervention. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-9.
Authorize execution of agreement between the Township of Brick and Help Safe.
This resolution authorizes the execution of agreement with HelpSee, a recycling program developed to reduce the amount of clothing and waste brought to the landfill. HelpSee will efficiently divert brick textile waste by providing convenient textile recycling options. HelpSee will have collection bins at the DPW and will also launch an app whereby Brick residents can request pickup at their homes. HelpSee will report the total weight saleable materials and will pay the township a rate of $40 per ton. Resolution 410.
Opposing Assembly Bill A 1294 and Senate Bill S 2103 and urging that such legislation not advance further.
This resolution opposes Assembly Bill A 1294 and Senate Bill S 2103 legislation that will preempt local control over land use and zoning regulations, allowing certain qualifying office parks and retail center properties to be permitted as of right to develop as a mixed-use development, not requiring a variance. This top-down approach eliminates local use, land use, planning regulations, and undermines the recognized benefits of municipality land use regulations without providing the appropriate review for deviation as outlined within the municipal land use laws. Resolution 411.
Authorize 2022-2023 club liquor license renewal, VFW Post 8867.
Councilman Halloran.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the club liquor license renewal for VFW Post 8867. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 412.
412A is an inspection fund release for Michael Thomas Brown on Princeton Avenue in the amount of $1,431.67. 412B is an inspection fund release for GMP Construction on Princeton Avenue in the amount of $502.76.
Thank you. Resolution 413.
Tax
Third-
collector, go ahead.
Thank you. 13A, 100% DAV refund and cancel taxes for Block 380.21, Lot 1, C1032. 13B is tax overpayments for 2022, of which there are two.
Thank you. This ends our consent agenda. Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Yes, Mr. Sluka.
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. I usually don't get up for resolutions and stuff, but I wrote this this afternoon, so I didn't have time to send it, so you didn't get it. This concerning resolution, I guess it's one. Mayor Ducey and the council and, all administration. This may be sounding sincere or dishonest in my belief, and maybe this may seem a bit crazy or unsound, but I really could never understand the reasoning of a resolution like this one. I truly understand that people are proud to stand up for themselves and what they believe in, but it seems strange to call a whole month Pride Month. A month like October, where it's usually called LGBTQ plus History Month, makes sense. But to have a month that says you were born a homosexual or heterosexual really seems strange. You were born homosexual or heterosexual, and in reality have no control over that. I would happen to be born heterosexual and have relatives and friends who were born homosexual, but to say I am proud of being a heterosexual just strikes me as strange. I understand that 6 to 7% of all the people in the U.S. are born homosexual, and during former times, and probably current times as well, they have been discriminated against to various degrees, but to call a month Pride Month seems almost to make no sense. I understand that few people will ever speak out against this type of resolution because they themselves do not want to be branded or feel they are making waves. In February, we have Black History Month, and like the LGBTQ plus community, the black community was severely discriminated against, and unlike the black community, the LGBTQ plus was not brought to America in chains and had to spend more than a century gaining their freedom. In February, we celebrate Black History Month, and hopefully in the schools, we use this time to teach the children and the whole community about the history of the black race in America. The idea of a Black History Month is to enlighten those who are unaware of the achievements of the black race in America. We hopefully learn that the struggles for freedom by people like Harriet Tubman, who is the main conductor of the Underground Railroad, Rosa Parks, who showed a lot of courage and got arrested for not moving on a bus. We learned that people like Bass Reeves, the original Lone Ranger, Frederick Douglass, a great orator and advisor to President Lincoln. We recognize names like Quincy Jones and Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who was a congressman, or Mary McLeod Bethune, who was the advisor to Eleanor Roosevelt and led the black woman nursing in World War II. And of course, the Tuscany Airmen, which everybody seems to be knowing more about. We also go to understand the significance of leaders like Thurgood Marshall and Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court, and of course, let's not forget Barack Obama, President of the United States. So I fully understand a whole month to enlighten us all, from school age to seniors, on the history of the blacks in America and the desire for freedom and the successful growth from slavery to president in 300 years. We have the month of October to celebrate LGBTQ plus History Month, so we can understand the contributions made by gay and lesbian communities in the United States. But having a month to celebrate the way one was born sexually befuddles me. We should learn the history of the LGBTQ community, but that is what October should be on the news and in classrooms. And the many people who had to hide their birth sexuality for so many years, but in the month of October, we should acknowledge the contribution of so many, like James Buchanan, the 15th president, the women of the Civil War who dressed as men in order to serve their country, stagecoach drivers from the Wild West, who were actually a lot of females that nobody really pays attention to, who drove across the country to tame the Wild West. We need to learn more about people like Oscar Wilde, Gertrude Stein, and Christine Jerkson. Maybe we should learn more about the struggles of even more recent LGBTQ plus members like Greg Louganis, Ellen DeGeneres, Rock Hudson, Caitlyn Jenner, and Richard Gردell. But we should be celebrating, understand their struggles and accomplishment, not just be proud for the way we were born. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sluka. I'd like to remind everybody this is for questions. Thank you. Although you made good points and valid. No, question. Listen, that's okay. Mr. Sluka, you make good, valid points, and I appreciate the education. That's okay. That's okay. Ms. Cole. That's
Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard, and I actually have several things on the resolutions that I want to speak about or question. It doesn't say that it has to be questions, not comments, because much of it does need to be comments. Since you never discussed it at a caucus meeting and came to the conclusion that Pride Month should be put on, doesn't say what was announced as Pride Month. So will we have March now declared as Irish Pride Month, October as Italian Pride Month, and a few other months that people celebrate in particular? This is absolutely insane. If you do testing and believe in following the science, there is no test that will identify a chromosome of somebody who's heterosexual or bisexual or have any other of the descriptions. So how about the month we're going to have for Down syndrome, where there is a scientific test to identify the chromosomeology that's there? I know. I had an aunt that died the day after my first grandchild was born at the age of 72. She was the size of a little girl, 6 years old, and had to be made a ward of the court when my grandparents were no longer able to take care of her. And she suffered some horrible abuse that's in sealed records, which caused her to go from the happy little dancing girl to somebody who became totally nonverbal. So shall we have a month for people like her that went through awful tragedies? So many others that scientifically, we don't need to single out people who are self-identifying. I really oppose this being part of a resolution agenda. That's one. The 4.10, opposing an assembly bill. Why are you supporting that without having a discussion with we, the people who I thought for at least 75 years, allowing for 5 years not having been in school, that we, the people, govern ourselves and not you, a small party. Oh, by the way, as I look at you, you're darker than the children of my husband's niece.
You're referring to me?
Yes.
I take
She
offense.
was
I take
married-
offense to that.
She was.
You're
married-
finished. Sit down.
No.
Sit down.
She was married
Listen,
to
Miss
a
Cole,
black man,
I don't care.
and her
You-
children
Listen,
are beautiful.
Miss Cole,
So
don't challenge me.
you do
Listen.
not have that right.
Sit down. I'm
I
not going to
swear-
ask you again.
I'm
Sit down.
going to turn to the attorney. What are the rights of and responsibilities of the council members?
The chairman has control
You
over
can
the
go.
meeting and has a right to limit comment, especially if it's out of line.
And you haven't
Well,
asked a question.
That's one man's opinion that it's out of line. When do I get to say the truth?
You need
Not
to
right
sit
now.
down.
I am not going to sit down. Okay? I will sit down, but you haven't heard the end of it, because this is a totally fraudulent meeting.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Just to clear up the question about the Pride Month. Pride Month is held in June to commemorate the Stonewall Uprising that took place in June of 1969, and that's why Pride Month is in June. And I think it's great for us to take a moment to celebrate the progress of the LGBTQ+ community, and you have the right to decide if you like that or not, and to partake or not. So, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from public, please? Close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank you.
This brings us to a computer bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $12,041,245.54.
Thank you. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank you.
This brings us to the manual bill.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,977,842.95.
Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the manual bill. Seeing none, close public.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank you.
This brings us to an ordinance on first reading, 5-1, please.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 245 entitled Land Use to permit craft cidery and meadery, craft distilleries, winery tasting rooms, and instructional winemaking facility license holders as permitted uses in the Village Zone, the B2 General Business Zone, the B3 Highway Development Zone, and the M1 Light Industrial Zone.
Thank you. Councilman Halloran.
Thank you, Council President. The Township's current brewery ordinance does not include approval for distilleries, craft cidery, or meadery, which tend to go hand in hand with brewery applications. Distilleries, craft cidery, and meadery are not precluded, but it is not specifically stated as allowable. Therefore, the Council's Land Use Committee is presenting this ordinance to allow those uses within the same zones where breweries are allowed. Thank you.
Thank you. First ordinance reading 5-2.
Well, if we could.
Sorry. Motion?
Motion.
Second. Thank you. Open to council. Seeing none. Close council. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Can I just get the motion again in the second? Who was that?
Art motion, Heather second.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
5-2.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code in Section 288-45 to add a no left turn onto Beaverson Boulevard from Lions Head Office Park.
Thank you. Councilwoman Crate.
Thank you. This ordinance is being proposed at the request of the Ocean County Engineer. The ordinance prohibits, excuse me, left-hand turns on the Beaverson Boulevard from the Lions Head Office Park. The Ocean County Engineering Department conducted a review of the referenced intersection and approach roadways as a result of this request. As a result of their investigation, they recommend restricting left-hand turns out of both entrances to the Lions Head Office Park as that will improve the overall safety for motorists. Thank you.
Thank you. A motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none. Close council. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank you.
This brings us to public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Anybody from public? Mr. Sluka.
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. Going to read my letter. Dear Mayor Ducey, Council President Vincent Menachino, and all councilmen and councilwomen, as well all the residents and the workers in Brick. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are approximately 74,900 people, residents in Brick on July 1st, 2021, which is up from the 73,600 on April 1st, 2020. According to the census, 5.4% or 4,000 were under the age of 5, and in total 19.7% or 14,756 were under the age of 18. I did ask the mayor if he knew how many school-aged children are in Brick, and he referred me to the census, which does say that nearly 20% of the 74,900 people fit into the age group under 18. Additionally, there are approximately 14,980 seniors. I am not saying that one age group is more important than the next, but in reality we have 14,700 and 14,900, basically over 29,000 residents that are highly susceptible to the pollutants of the Garden State Parkway. I understand that the amount of children under 18 seem to be overstated, according to what Brick Township School District told me. And I am not sure how that occurs, but it still leaves a lot of children that are susceptible to airborne pollutants and toxins. Autism, COPD, asthma, and lung and heart disease are just a few of the ailments that impact our residents, and we need to step up and eliminate at least one of the causes of the afflictions. The toxins, noise, and other airborne debris has been coming off the Garden State Parkway and forced into the bodies of our seniors, children, mothers-to-be, and in fact everyone that lives here in Brick, whether we see these poisons in the air or not. The area surrounding Evergreen Woods, Brick High, Primrose Gardens, Sutton Village, Lanes Mill School, Greenbrier, Briar Mill, Town Hall, and in fact other places, such as other age-restricted communities, need to have safety and noise barriers of 20 feet to prevent the toxins from harming them. 20 feet pollution barriers are needed, along with the replanting and replacement of trees, brush, and grass that once bordered the Garden State Parkway. Workers and residents of Brick will continue to develop COPD. The children will have asthma. Pregnant moms will have autistic children, and seniors will succumb prematurely to heart and lung illnesses and thereby die very early. So something needs to be done. Help is needed. We should at least force the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commissioners to see the evil of their ways through moral and legal means where appropriate. So let's do what is right for the people. And sorry about before,
That's okay.
and I yield back 2 minutes.
Thank you. Anybody else from public, please? Yes, Ms. Cole.
Mancali, Jean Greenbrier Boulevard. Through the chair, I would like to ask the township attorney a couple of questions. I have not looked at it for a long time, although I have a printout here, not from the township, but from a higher authority. Are these township meetings not governed by Robert's Rules of Order? Is that not stated specifically?
The township has rules set forth in the township code book. To the extent it's not covered in the code book, the meeting is governed by Robert's Rules of Order. Typically, the small meeting format in Robert's Rules is what
Would you
governs.
read to me exactly where it says that? Because when I read it, it said the meetings are governed by Robert's Rules of Order.
The meetings are governed by the township code book and the provisions therein. To the extent it's not covered in the code book, they're governed by Robert's Rules of Order.
Find where it says, to the extent not covered by what you're saying, because all I've ever read says Robert's Rules of Order. All right, we had a...
You've asked me for my opinion as township attorney.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
you did.
asked you,
specifically asked
as the township attorney, for your counsel. But your counsel is not in agreement with what I have read for many years. It doesn't say to the degree not covered. But if you can find it, tell me where it is. But there's a lot of things it doesn't cover. And the reason for following rules of order such as Roberts and having a uniform rules of order. I would like to put a request in that by the next meeting, everybody has one or two sentences describing what are your responsibilities for your position that you have been elected, appointed, or employed for.
Thank you. Anybody else from public? Seeing none? Mrs. Bergen? Did you have your hand up, sir? You're welcome. Mrs. Bergen?
I would like to acknowledge a very special evening tonight as we say our loving farewells to Jen as she enters her retirement phase, and our thanks and appreciation for exceptional service, her kind friendship, and her reliability at all times to be sure we have everything we need to be successful, and to also welcome Debbie Murphy into this new role. So I hated to be first because it's really your meeting, but if I miss the opportunity, I'll regret it. So I thank you personally and professionally for the wonderful human being that you are.
Mr. Starkey?
Just 2 quick points. One is I want to make sure everyone's aware that the meetings of the Brick MUA are typically on a Thursday. This month it's on a Wednesday. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Meetings are at 1551 Highway 88 West, 7 p.m., and they do have a public portion if anyone would like to attend. And I would like to just echo Ms. Bergen's comments. Jen, thank you for keeping me on time and moving with all my obligations. You've been wonderful to work with, real pleasure, and I thank you for that. That's all.
Madam Clerk?
She said, don't even start.
I thought we weren't gonna talk about it, but I do also want to commend Jen on her 27 years of service. I've been fortunate to work for 26 years with Jen, 14 more intimately in this capacity. I'm gonna miss her greatly, and not just for the job that she does, but for everything that she does and seeing her every day. And yeah, she's gonna make it's gonna be hard to replace her. But Debbie Murphy, I'm sure will do a great job. I've also worked with Debbie for 26 years. So yes, so I just want to recognize Jennifer for that.
Thank you.
And hope she's going to enjoy her retirement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and that too.
It'll start,
You can still tune in.
So, Madam Secretary, on the way out,
I'd like to thank all of you, and it's been a pleasure working for you and working for the township.
thank you. Madam Secretary, on the way in.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Jen. I'm really going to miss her because the both of us have worked very closely together for many years. So, but I wish you luck. I'll be calling you.
Good luck, and good luck to you, Debbie. You'll do fine. More than fine.
Thank you. Councilman Albanese.
Yes, I've only been here 7 months, so I don't know her as well as the rest of you guys do, but she's been there for me just like everybody on this council. Unbelievable. You guys really make me feel at home. And I just wish her the best in the next chapter of her life.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Thank you, Council President. So, Jen, I think I said everything that I wanted to say, because we did all our boo-hooing earlier, so I just want to publicly thank you for everything that you've done, everything you've done to help me as a councilwoman, everything you've done to help the council, keeping us all kind of on track and moving in the same direction, and congratulations on your retirement. Enjoy, and welcome Debbie. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Very good. Jen, first I want to thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the town for 27 years, and especially for the last 14 years serving this council. She was seamlessly able to navigate. You know, we have very unique and personalities and different kind of quirks, and she's been able to manage and kind of commingle and get us to the start and the finish line of all of our meetings, all of our committee meetings, and all our events and everywhere in between. Being able to work, being our council secretary, it's kind of like herding kittens, if you've ever seen try to do that. You know, there's 7 of us, and then you have Mr. Starkey, and then like figuring out where everybody is going to land. You know, it takes some finagling and some finesse, and Jen has been able to do this very, very gracefully, and it has been a pleasure having you. And you've been such a great friend. You know, we wouldn't just go to Jen with council stuff. Like, she knew about our lives, and I will miss you. And please don't be a stranger.
Except on Tuesday.
Except Tuesdays. We'll forgive you on Tuesday nights. But congratulations in your retirement, and all the luck.
Councilman Halloran.
Thank you. I've only known Jen for 7 years. But I can tell you, from when I first showed up, she took me under her wing to give me guidance and tell me the ropes of how everything worked and where to find my stuff, and make sure that I knew all the various events we had to show up at, and make sure that I was on time, and make sure that I had all the information necessary to do what we do up here, and work hard and try to keep the town running well. you've become a friend. And you especially were good to me during a difficult time, and I'll never forget that. So I wish you a wonderful retirement, and Debbie, welcome. I know you'll do an excellent job. You did this job before, so I know you'll do an excellent job. But I would like to, and I know, I have your number, Jen, so in case things go bad, and things go sour, I know you won't miss meetings like tonight. But I would like to give you a round of applause. Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you. After I stop crying.
Yeah. That's it?
Are you done?
You're done?
Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Council Vice President Craig.
Thank you. So, 7 years I've been here, and the first few years I'm kind of a do-it-myself kind of person, always. And then Jen was like, no, I'll make a phone call. And I have embraced the idea of a secretary and how wonderful it is to have someone help you with something that I've never had before. So I have such a great appreciation for my first experience having someone help me like that. Remember that conversation? Yeah. I'm like, wait, you can do that? You can call someone? It was fabulous. She is amazing. You know, if I don't check an email, she reminds me. Sorry, did you see your email? So she's very good about reminding us and keeping us on track, and she will be greatly missed. And I know Debbie will be wonderful, and we're excited to have her join us, or rejoin us, I guess. But really, I think as you hear what everyone is saying about Jen as we go down the line, and Vince is going to have nothing left to say once we get to Vince, but I think the hardest part of this is it's like saying goodbye to a part of our family. And so it's not goodbye, it's just we'll see you later, just not on Tuesdays. So we love you, though, and much happiness to you as you move forward.
Thank you. So when I first got elected, we walked into the pandemic for the last 2 years. So our conversations were mostly via email and telephone, or I saw you on TV in the virtual meetings. But again, I can echo everything these guys said. I just have one question. First, congratulations on your retirement, Debbie. Congratulations in the position. Is the candy still going to be on the desk?
Yes. It's on my desk now and back. So now I have to
All
have
right.
2 desks of candy.
All right.
There's still leftover candy.
All right, but no new candy. All right.
Yeah.
But again,
I'll make a note of that.
congratulations again.
Thank
So
you.
the next council meeting will be July 12th, 2022, 7 p.m. here. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second? All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.